President Obama running hard left in an effort to re-energize his base and kickstart his agenda. His effort underway in Ohio today, where he's hosting a town hall meeting on jobs coming up. But so far, Democrats have not been able to do what he had hoped that they would. Rachel Maddow is host of The Rachel Maddow Show here on MSNBC and joins us now. What's moving on the wires now from the president's speech, they've just given us the advance text, is that he acknowledges he ran into a bit of a buzzsaw, you think, on health care. What do they do now? Do they strip this down, go to, individual items, consumer protections, and try to put together the 60 votes?
No, I don't think they do.
Okay.
I think that it makes sense that that's being proposed, but all of those proposals depend on this fantasy that some Republican somewhere is going to come to their senses on this and decide to support health reform because it's the right thing to do for the country. And we've had unified Republican opposition to everything on health reform, and I don't think that's because every Republican in the House and the Senate doesn't want any element of health reform. I think it's because it's been really good politics for them to just say no, and saying they're the party of no isn't enough of an insult to get them off of this strategy. I think it's been very successful for them. Anything that counts on Republicans voting for any element of health reform is folly.
But then it's dead, 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 because Pelosi says that she cannot get her caucus together to accept the Senate bill.
She's going to have to. She's going to have to do that. She's going to have to get the House to pass the Senate bill with promises that the things that they don't like in it will be solved through the reconciliation process after the Senate bill is passed. Democrats have to decide if they're going to commit political suicide reform. If they let it die, they are committing political suicide. They might as well just leave in advance of the 2010 elections and in terms of President Obama's second term. They can't let it die, and the only way to keep it alive is to pass the Senate bill. It's the only way to do it.
So your message to progressives, or what your analysis, I should say, is that progressives are going to have to accept abortion language they don't like, and, well, the abortion language in the Senate bill is better than the Stupak language,
right.
But they're going to have to accept the Cadillac tax and make the deal later with the labor.
Things that they don't like about the Senate bill are going to have to be fixed, and they're going to have to be fixed through the reconciliation process. Listen, there's no path forward on health reform or on anything at all shy of people being able to deduct their Haiti donations on this year's tax returns. There's no way forward on any policy issues whatsoever that involves even a single Republican vote. No way. And it's fantasy. And it's just, it's fantasy, and forgive the term, but I think it's idiocy to think that Republicans are going to abandon this strategy of no after it's worked so well for them this year. They're never going to vote for anything. Democrats have to do it alone, and they've got to wake up to that.